Let's begin by reviewing some of our old spelling sounds. Sound aw, sound aw, sound oi, sound oi. Moving on to morphemic transformations. We have our base word and then I will be adding affixes. Read the base word. Photograph. Great job. Read. Ing. Read the whole word. Photographing. Read. Photograph. Read. D. Remember the ed ending has 3 different sounds. It can be either t, d, or ed. In this word, it's going to be t. Read the whole word. Photographed. Oh, let me go ahead and fix the base word again. Read. Photograph. Read. Read the whole word. Photographer. Notice how the word photograph changed to photographer. Let's go ahead and review some of our irregular sight syllables. Read, ents. Read, ents. Read, shun. Second sound, jeune. Read, come. Read, ist. Read, ent. Read, hood. Read, full. Read, ock. Read, crim. Read, able. Read, ear. Read, ibble. Read, mitter. Read, chur. Read, ick. Read, is. Read, eus. Read, ativ. Read, tiv. Read, iv. When we add affixes, it can change some of the sounds in the original base word. Let's go ahead and keep going. Read, photograph. Read, earth. Read the whole word, photographers. And there were 2 affixes there, which is and then s. Next base word, mighty. Read, ear. Read the whole word. Mightier. Read, mighty. Read, east. Read the whole word. Mightiest. Moving on to reading by syllables. Read, bay. Read, bee. Read the whole word, baby. And remember, my friends, when we see a Y at the end and there's more than 1 syllable, the Y will always make a long E sound. Read, in. Read, die. Read, a. Read the whole word, India. And you'll notice, my friends, that the I here changed and so did the A. In this word, there's a schwa as well as an irregular spelling sound. Read, sir, and that's an irregular syllable right there. Read vice. Read the whole word, service. My friends, you'll notice that the I here changed from a long I to a short I sound. That's an irregular spelling sound in this word. Read mill. Read lion. Read the whole word, million. There's a schwa here. It changed from I to a. Read for. Read tune. Read the whole word, fortune. And you'll notice that the T changed to a ch sound, and this changed from an u to an sound. There's a schwa there, as well as an irregular spelling sound, or an irregular spelling sound pattern here. Read Jan. Read oo. Read R. Read E. Read the whole word, January. My friends, you'll notice that here, there's an irregular spelling sound. Instead of R, it became an E. That's just in this particular word, this spelling sound is irregular. Okay, let's keep going. Read use. Read full, and that's an irregular syllable. Read the whole word, useful. Read miss. Read tea. Read rye. Read is. And this is an irregular syllable as well. Read the whole word, mysterious. My friends, you'll notice that here and here, so these two letters right here, in these particular points, we have schwas. So instead of it being T, it ended up being a weird spelling sound. So we have a schwa here, mysterious, schwa here, and a schwa here, because the sounds changed. Read dick. Read shun, and that's an irregular syllable. Read R. Read E. Read the whole word, dictionary. My friends, right here, you'll notice that this changed. You'll notice that this sound changed from R to E to make dictionary. This is an irregular, in this particular word, this is an irregular spelling sound. Read cray. And remember, the vowel is at the end of the syllable, so it's going to be a long A, usually. Read cray. Read Z. Read the whole word, crazy. Moving on to reading entire words. Let's take a look at our first one. Is there an irregular syllable at the end? No, there is not. How many consonants in between our two vowels? 2 consonants. Split where? Usually in between our 2 consonants. First syllable, mon. Second syllable, key. Try for the real word, monkey. My friends, where this O is at, that's a schwa. It changed from A to A. Moving on. Is there an irregular syllable at the end? Yes, there is. The irregular syllable is How many consonants in between our 2 vowels? 2 consonants in between our 2 vowels. Split where? Usually between our 2 consonants. First syllable, lum. Second syllable, Try for the real word. Lumber. Great job. Moving on. Is there an irregular sight syllable at the end? No, there is not. How many consonants in between our two vowels? 2 consonants. Split where? Usually in between our 2 consonants. First syllable, tur. Second syllable, key. Try for the real word, turkey. Great job. Moving on. Is there an irregular sight syllable at the end? Yes, there is. Full. Full is our irregular sight syllable. How many consonants in between our 2 vowels? So let me cover this up first. 1 consonant in between our 2 vowels. Now, my friends, this is where it gets tricky, so make sure you pay close attention. Actually, in this particular word, none of these really matter. So I'm going to go ahead and actually cross that out because our vowels and our consonants don't really matter here. When we're reading these words, or particularly this word right here, it's really important to keep single syllable words together. So it would not make sense for us to split the word care up when it's only 1 syllable and it's a real word by itself. So, and then with our irregular sight syllable here, we want to keep it together. So that makes it very easy for us to split it. First syllable, care. Second syllable, full. Try for the real word, careful. Moving on. Is there an irregular sight syllable at the end? No, there is not. How many consonants in between our 2 vowels? 2 consonants. Split where? Usually in between our 2 consonants. First syllable, fan. Second syllable, see. Try for the real word, fancy. And remember, when we have a Y spelling with a long E sound, it usually is true if we have more than 1 syllable, which in the word fancy, we have more than 1 syllable. Let's go ahead and move on to our last few words here. Is there an irregular sight syllable here at the end? Yes. Lee. Lee is our irregular sight syllable. Now let's work chunk by chunk. How many consonants in between our 2 vowels here? 1 consonant. Split where? Well, remember, with a VCV pattern, we can be very flexible. We can split it either before or after the consonant, depending on what sounds familiar and what sounds like a real word, okay? Or a real syllable. And you usually have to figure that out thinking about the whole word. Okay, in this word, we are going to split right before the consonant. So instead of it being sec, yearly, it's going to be se. Well, now that we've split that, my friends, I want you to take a look. I just circled the word cure in orange. Now, I circled it in orange because it is a single syllable word that is real by itself. It's a real single syllable word by itself. So it's really important that we keep it together. Therefore, the VCV patterns do not apply to this particular syllable. We're going to keep the word cure together and then also separate it from the li because we need the irregular syllable by itself. Therefore, we have 3 syllables. The first syllable being si, second syllable cure, last syllable li. Try for the real word, securely. Cure stays by itself because it's a single syllable real word. And then li is an irregular sight syllable, so it needs to stay by itself as well. The whole word is securely. Now you'll notice that the letter E here changed from a long E sound to an sound. That's what we call a schwa. Moving on. Is there an irregular sight syllable at the end? No, there is not. But we do have a normal ending. Now let's go ahead and work through this piece by piece. How many consonants in between our 2 vowels? 2 consonants. Split where? Typically, we would split in between our two consonants, but this time we have to be flexible, and we're actually going to go ahead and split it before our first consonant. And then lastly, you'll notice that I circled ing in orange. That's because that's an ending that needs to be by itself. So this is a spelling sound that needs to be by itself, which is ing. You never really want to separate that. It makes it difficult. Therefore, we have 3 separate syllables. First syllable, re. Second syllable, ply. Last syllable, ing. Try for the real word, replying. The letter E here changed from a long E sound to an sound. We call that a schwa. Okay, moving on. Last word. Do we have an irregular side syllable at the end? Yes, we do. In fact, we have 2. Full and then li, which is why I wrote number 1 and 2. That's our first irregular side syllable. That's our second irregular side syllable. Now, we don't have any consonants or vowels written down to examine our rule because use is circled in orange, and this is really important because use is a real single syllable word. So you don't want to break that up because it makes it very confusing. Therefore, we're going to keep that together and we're going to split there. We also want to keep each of our irregular side syllables apart and separate. So we're also going to split so that they are by themselves. First syllable, use. Second syllable, full. Last syllable, li. Try for the real word, usefully. My friends, and the S in the word use or use can switch between an S sound or a Z sound. So it can change between use or use. In this word, it is going to be an S sound. So it will be usefully. All right, my friends, welcome to the last part of our lesson. We are going to work on guided spelling. We have 3 words. Our first word is lightning. I went outside and saw lightning strike the ground. Say lightning. Great job. First syllable, light. Which I. Take a look. We are going to use the IGH spelling to represent the I sound in the word lightning in the first syllable of light. Let's go ahead and write that down. I. U, I, t. And we have our first syllable complete. Second syllable, ning. Ing is going to be one of our sounds. N, ing. Okay, so your spelling should look exactly like mine. The whole word is lightning. Number 2, careful. Careful. I told my mom I would be careful with the milk. Say careful. Great job. First syllable, care. Which A? We're going to use the AE spelling in the long A to represent the air sound in care. K, air. And my friends, you'll remember that when we have a C next to an A, the C sound is going to make a K sound and not a S sound. Care. And then second syllable, full. That's an irregular sight syllable. And we can also underline it and double check it on our irregular sight syllable wall chart. Yep, it's right here. Last word, decision. My mom told me to make a quick decision about whether I wanted chocolate milk or white milk. Say decision. First syllable, duh. This syllable has a schwa. use this spelling. Duh. So instead of a long E, it's an sound, and that's a schwa. Second syllable, si. Careful, the sound s in this syllable is spelled with a C. De, si, I. And remember, my friends, you might have remembered a long time ago we learned about how if an I, E, or Y is next to a C, it's going to make a S sound, okay? And then last syllable, jeune, jeune. Is this an irregular sight syllable? Yes, it absolutely is. Let's go ahead and take a look. Yep. So remember, it can be either shun or jeune. In this word of decision, it's going to be jeune. And then underline that as well. Make sure your words are properly noted like mine's and properly underlined like mine. If it's not, go ahead and fix it by writing the correct version on top of what you wrote. Otherwise, great job, my friends. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next lesson.